How's it going, everybody? Yuji here, and today I'm talking about what I'm doing in Dragonflight. So first off, for the YouTube channel itself, I'm going to try and be way more consistent on my uploads. I'm going to try to upload at least 3 times a week, and for those 3 videos, one will be some type of commentary video about the game or the meta or some kind of guide. One will be high-rated gameplay, and the third will be either another one of those 2 or a more highly edited video. I'm planning on releasing videos like that kind of every 2 weeks once the season starts. So videos like the rec.exe video I made, then once a month I'm planning on making a big, highly edited video that would be either a kind of montage or a video like, so this is 9.2, just a high effort video once a month. So pretty much what you can expect is more guides, commentary videos, more high-rated gameplay videos, talking about patch notes, and also some other cool videos once a month. Now with that out of the way, I want to talk about my plans for actually playing the game. Shadowlands was kind of a disaster for me achievement-wise, but definitely re-inspired me competitively. I was able to take a C tier comp with Cupid and played at the top of the ladder pretty consistently. Also, I'm not as washed as I thought it was, which is pretty cool. So with that, I want to try and compete in the AWC. Since TBC came out, a ton of the really good teams ended up quitting. There's been a number of spots open in the tournaments that just about any good team could potentially take if they do well in the tournaments. So I'm hoping to try and be one of them. The only problem is it's not really looking good being a solo rep main. This expansion is probably like a B tier spec at the moment. It might change, but that's what it is right now. And it also gets super hard countered by certain teams, certain comps. So pretty much what I'm saying is I don't plan on being a solo rep main this X pack. I'm going to try and pick up a few other specs as well. The first one being Feral. Honestly, I should have picked this spec up years ago. It's the perfect ult spec as a rep main, since Feral often plays well with a ton of the specs that I enjoy playing with, more specifically hunters. I'm kind of the biggest Cupid one trick out there, so having access to jungle would make a huge difference. Kitty Cleave is also usually pretty strong, and I'm pretty sure FPX is going to be one of the best comps in the game once the season starts. So Feral is just a really good spec to pick up right now. The next spec is Rogue, specifically Outlaw, but I'll play the other 2 specs if they're just way better than Outlaw and just fit a better niche for whatever comps I'm trying to play. But Outlaw has been one of my favorite specs since Legion. I'm not really sure how to explain why, but right now it's also pretty strong in my opinion. It has 90-second blind still, access to dance now, has good survivability, and also has some really good burst. It also has a lot more consistent damage and mobility compared to the other 2 specs, so it opens up a number of different comps as well. I think the spec is going to be sleeper OP this X pack, and I'm planning on showing that off. The last spec is one I hate to say, but it's Demon Hunter. DH is just so insane right now, it's unreal. When I was playing on the beta, I played for 2 hours and was already higher than my red and solo shuffle. The spec is also just magically avoided every major nerf, every single patch, which is kind of unreal since it's the best spec in the game. The talent tree is also amazingly well made, allowing them a ton of diversity in what spec they play and opening up a ton of different comps for them. It's also insane how much giving them a fear has buffed the spec, especially when you can reduce it down to almost a minute depending on your spec. I think no matter how much they nerf DH, unless they do a massive base percent nerf to its damage, the spec will be no worse than A tier for the entire expansion. Some other specs I might pick up depending on what comps I'm playing and how strong they are in the meta are Windwalker, Enhance, and DK. Windwalker has always been a super fun spec to me. My only problem with it is they don't have enough control and are super reliant on their team to set things up for them after losing this stun. Enhance just tends to pair really well with Warrior. It also plays pretty similarly to Ret with how much off-healing it has and utility. It's a pretty good ult if you're a Ret main. My only problem with it is it's getting constantly buffed and nerfed lately, and usually only has one good comp in the meta. Once it stabilizes, and if it has more viable comps than just Turbo, I might think of picking it up. Then DK, kind of like Enhance, it just pairs really well with a ton of specs I'm planning on playing with. But like Enhance, it's been getting a ton of changes, so I prefer to wait and see how the meta turns out before committing to playing it. But for the most part, I'm only really planning on playing 4 specs at a time. I don't think it's a good idea to spread myself too thin, so I wouldn't pick up anything else unless I'm giving up on one spec or feel like I'm playing at a high enough level to add another. Also, I'm not planning on giving up on red at all. I'm still a rep main through and through, so look forward to that as well. And now the last thing I want to talk about is streaming. I have mentioned a number of times that I was planning on streaming more consistently when where I then stream for a week and give up. The biggest reason for that was just lack of content. If I didn't have threes to play or something else to play with, I kind of just sit there in LFG looking for randoms to play with. But now that they've added solo shuffle, I have unlimited content. I can just queue threes and then immediately start queuing solo shuffle when I'm done. This is just perfect for me. So once the season starts, I'm planning on streaming hopefully whenever I play WoW. I may also stream a bit this next week leading up to the season when playing BGs with some friends or while testing out some comps with war games. So look forward to that as well. So check me out at twitch.tv/YushiWow. Should be on the screen, or just right here on YouTube. I'm planning on streaming on both websites, but would prefer it if you check me out on Twitch. But that's about it for me. If you have any questions or anything like that, ask me in the comments. I'll answer pretty much anything. Other than that, look forward to more content this X-Pack. Peace.